anybody from the four families that wants to have that ceremony. And so the eagle feathers then teach them about honesty and about and honoring each other. Trust is another important thing. I think the best thing that in that ceremony for the wedding is trust. And so one of the things that I do is after they've come into a sweat lodge, and the reason the sweat lodge is important in that wedding ceremony is they both come from different wombs, but if they're going to be walking as one, then I do a lodge for them where I just use 13 stones to honor the 13 moons. And so their parents, grandparents, whoever's going to be in the wedding party come together, but they pick the cedar for the couple, and the couple will sit on the cedar, and after the cedar is done, I collect it, and on the day that they say their vows, I remind them of them being in the lodge together as one, and the promises they made to each other. And so when they walk on the cedar, it's not bringing up past relationships, letting those go so that you can start together without those. I remember when you were in high school and I heard this, and that had nothing to do with that couple right now, you know what I mean? So it's really important to trust each other, and that's that building of trust. So cedar is used for that. Responsibility, each of them have a responsibility, and it's not male, female. You do the dishes, I'll do the yard work, I was brought up in such a good way. Both my grandparents, my grandfather cooked and cleaned, my grandmother trapped and fished. There was a good balance. So, and it's really important to really support each other in that way, and of course others have guided their actions. So our Wolastoq elders have confirmed that apply to Wolastoq culture. They have confirmed that the values of respect, sharing. Our Wolastoq elders refer to these values as Wuli, which is good. Bamaus is that life. Bamaus Sawaganal, it's a sacred earth walk. That's for everybody. It's not just for Indigenous people, but I was brought up that way, and so, and that's what we call it. So, yeah, next one. And of course, so here's some, I just took a few of the words and added my language to it so that nobody can say that it's something new to us. We have the word Sassenamawagan, which is you share, so if I were to have a cup of Tim Hortons right now, and nobody else had anything, then I would have to, I could not drink that. It would be against my culture for me to drink it in front of everybody when nobody had it. So I would have to say, get a cup, I'll give you a little bit. And so that's what we would do. We'd have to share it. I was a high school teacher, and there was this one student who used to, can I get something to eat? I said, but you have to bring enough for everybody. And I remember that she would bring peanut butter. She said, that's all I can afford is peanut butter and jelly. But she would bring something for the whole class. So it's at that teaching of sharing. So Sassenmawagan. Respect is Nusseyawagan, is you take care, you respect objects, but you respect relationships. You respect the ones that are older than you. That's why one of the warning signs we're told that when children start talking back to their parents, it's a bad sign. The parents are neglecting their duty in teaching children that there's a level of hierarchy and respect. You can't talk back to anybody older than you, even if it's your older brother or your older sister. And that's why we have terminology in our language that respects. The older sister is called Mrs. The older brother is called Nhazes. But we don't have. But anybody younger is just Nosim is the one younger than me. And so if our kinship terms tell us that our older sister and our older brother has a title, even if you're twins, minutes makes a difference, so you really have to honor that. And so that's what Nusseyawagan is. It's just not respecting outside of you. You have to respect within you too. Harmony and balance is Zankewida Hazwagan, and that's a really important word, because if you took Zankewida Hazwagan apart, Zanke is calm, peace. We even use it for as a sign of peace. It's that there's nothing in your mind that's upsetting you. You know what I mean? There's this level of contentment, of love, of whatever, and so that's what harmony and balance is. Zankewida has my mind is not triggered by anything that's causing me to act in another way, because our mind actually determines our actions. So how we're thinking is actually sometimes you can recognize it in the way people act. Oh, they must be in a bad mood. They must be, upset. They must be in pain right now, and all of that. So, yeah. Interdependence is kchi mawawsoltimak. Kchi is that sacred part, like recognizing that you need others. Mawawsoltimak is how we all have to live together on this earth, because we share air, we share earth, we share, our water, and I have to admit, just since Earth Day, going to Ontario to listen to these incredible women from around the world and meeting the water grandmothers, I was just humbled by their love of water. Like they really watch how much water they use. They pray for rain. And matter of fact, I was in the Sweat Lodge. We prayed for rain for Alberta, and it was nice, even though it was just for a little bit. And I says, sometimes let's not take that drink when we're thirsty. Let's wait until the fourth thirst, and then drink it. But send that prayer. I'm thirsty, but I want to save that drink of water for the ones in Alberta. You know what I mean? And that's how we sacrifice. When people are fasting and we're not, those of us who aren't fasting will say, I'm taking a drink for whoever is fasting, so that they're not really suffering while they're doing ceremony. And so those are the kind of things that we have to do. And that's what that mawawsoltimak means. So just because we're not there doesn't mean we're not affected. We can send it. And these I didn't put in Maliseet because it would be a longer thing, but cooperation is important. How do we work together? I liked one of the word my elders used, and he used to say, Maui wiksunoltine. He said, Mededikajwen Maui wiksunoltiu, and he would say, nobody works together like they used to, which is cooperation. It doesn't mean that everybody has to think the same. He says, no, everybody has a gift, but they're all using their gifts to go pull towards the same, or go towards the same direction. Like let's use individual skills together, not separately, and we'll be stronger. And he said he doesn't see that now in our leadership. And so, I realize that because now we have chief and council, for example, and they're a body, but even though they may have a meeting on occasion, it still seems like people, really? I didn't know that. I mean, there's not a good way of, conveying what that leadership wants for the community, because it should be the community guiding the leaders. And that's what I'm hoping with this grandmother thing that we've started with a chief in Ormocto, and she's accepted the responsibility of having grandmothers to guide her decision making for whatever comes in her community. So us grandmothers are called on in times of need, and so that we can help her. And something really beautiful too has come out of that is, as a leader, this leader has realized, I feel I can't lead in the best way I can when I'm not even using my language. So they're actually, some of the chiefs are actually taking classes from me to be able to say their speeches in their language. That's amazing. That's amazing, And I think that's the power of that grandmother guidance, is if I'm going to be speaking on behalf of my people, I want to do it in my language first. So something's come out of that, which is really amazing. And of course, we know trust, obedience. Obedience, people think is do as I say, or do as you're told. But that's not what obedience is. Obedience is your individual commitment to those prayers that you say, like, Creator, if you take care of my family, I promise I will. That's obeying your own, your own earth walk, your own thing and stuff. Compassion, so important. Yes, we can say we're sorry for others, but we really have to act on it. Like, I don't know, I went shopping yesterday. I don't know how many places I went. Did you care to donate for this? Do you want to care to donate for that? And I says, yes, I'll donate some. But we're also doing prayers. We're doing lodges. We're smoking pipes. We're doing prayers at the water. We're asking for the rain to visit them. That's also compassion. It's not just here's $1. I mean, yes, they need that too, but let's not just keep it physical. Let's know that these people also need some spiritual help and spiritual prayers and spiritual real compassion, like putting ourselves in their place, and stuff. So, next one, yeah. And of course, caring, caring for yourself. When we do our sweat lodges, how I conduct them, in my first round, I call it cleansing, meaning cleanse your own burdens first before the second round, because second round, I'll be asking you to pray for others, and I don't mean others, humans, I mean others meaning creation, and so caring is important. So the first round is cleansing, cleanse your own burdens first, and so that I'll be ready to take care of others because I'm taking care of me too. And also the third round is what I call forgiveness. And then the last round when I do my lodges is called gratitude. And forgiveness isn't just forgiving somebody for an action. It's not just